Hello, I'm Ellie Taylor and this is Back Your Body, the podcast from Holland Barrett that's all about the most loyal relationship you'll ever have, the one you have with your body. From scars to self-care, the bits you love and the bits you've learned to love, this is a conversation about how you look after your body and how your body looks after you. Today, I'm joined by the next national treasure. Yes, I'm calling it now. She won our hearts on the Traitors in one of the most brutal finales we've ever seen. But what you might not know is that her relationship with her body has been anything but straightforward. Diagnosed with colitis as a child, she spent years feeling like her body was working against her before life-changing surgery at 18 turned everything on its head. Now she's using her platform to open up conversations most people would rather avoid and showing what it really looks like to live confidently in your body. It's Mollie Pearce.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Mollie, thank you so much for being here. Now, I mean, this is all about your body. Your body's just done something amazing. You've just done the equivalent of 5 marathons.
Oh, don't remind me.
Talk to me about that.
I mean, going back to the beginning, basically, I just said to my partner, Connor, that I really wanted to do something for Crohn's and Colitis UK because it had been quite a few years. So we were like, okay, what can we do? And we were thinking, a nice little walk. And we thought maybe from Bristol to Birmingham or whatever, because that's where we're from. So it all sounded lovely. And then I ended up going on a wellness retreat and I met someone called Dan, and he has a company called Challenge the Wild, and they do lots of like big challenges and stuff like that. And he said he'd love to get involved and help. And then he called me up one day and was like, if we're going to do this, like, let's go big. And he's like, how do you feel about doing 5 marathons? And I've said, like, I'd never do a marathon in my life. Like, I've always been set on the fact that it's just not for me.
Yeah.
Like, not even one marathon.
Sure.
So when he said it, I was like, interesting. I'll get back to you. So I called Connor thinking he'd be like, oh, maybe not. But he was like the complete opposite. He was like, yeah, I'm so up for it. You should do it. Imagine how good you'd feel. I was thinking, not the response I was thinking we were going to get.
Wrong answer.
Yeah, literally. I was thinking, are you sure? And then he kind of convinced me. So here we are.
So you went from
marathons
Oxford
later.
to London?
Yeah. So
over
we
5
started in
days?
Oxford. Yeah, and we did a marathon a day.
So were you running? Were you walking? Was it a mix of both?
Walking.
Okay.
We were walking, yeah. So we didn't run. I knew that was something that I couldn't do. Like, I'm just not a runner. And even like when I told my friend about it, saying we were going to do it, she's like, you've always said you weren't going to do 1, let alone 5. Like, are you sure you want to do this? But I think when people hear us say that we walked it, they think, oh, that's easy. It's so difficult.
That's not. I mean, it's 26 miles a day.
Yeah.
So
and
how many hours are we talking?
Like 11 hours a day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
11 hours on your feet every day.
Yeah, and it's even just like the mental side of it as well. You'd wake up and be like, okay, so we're walking again for another 11 hours. You'd get home, you'd be absolutely shattered. And we were trying to keep our socials up as well because obviously the donations, like, that's why we were doing it. So we were like getting home, editing the video for the day, trying to get people to donate. And then like by the time your head hits the pillow, you're up again and your shoes are back on and you are walking.
And your blisters are rubbing and it's happening.
Yeah.
How much did you end up raising in the end?
We've gone over 10 grand now. So yeah, and we're nearly at 10.5 grand, which is amazing. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You must have felt very proud of your body after that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think looking back, I think it was on the Wednesday, I had a really tough day. And I looked back at some photos from like when I had my surgery and when I was poorly and kind of like reminded myself why I was doing it. It just made me think like, oh my God, like my body has come so far. It's insane. Yeah.
Talk to me about that then. Tell me about your surgery.
So I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis when I was 11. And then I just was probably one of the most annoying patients they've ever had. Like nothing worked for me. They try everything, all the treatments. I was on steroids a lot. The side effects of steroids and the effect it has on like your body and it changes you physically, it changes you mentally. I absolutely hated them. And I'd be on them probably like every 6 months because I'd have a flare up and then I'd try treatment and it wouldn't work. And then it'd be like back to square one, back to the steroids. So that was ongoing for about 7 years.
Oh.
And then I remember going into hospital just after my 18th birthday. And they talked to me about the surgery before, but I'd always like got away with it. I was like, no, like I'm not doing that. I literally said I'd rather die than
So this
have
is a
that.
surgery to have a stoma bag, right?
Yeah, so this was before my surgery. I honestly just looked at it like it was the worst thing in the world.
Right.
And obviously looking back now, I wish I could talk to myself, but I think there's just so much like stigma around it and all the leaflets I would kind of get to teach me about it. And yeah, it was all just a lot of like old people and not people my age, not this 18-year-old girl. It was older people, and they were, saying that you can wear like bands and stuff to make yourself feel like sexier, and like when you're being intimate and stuff. And I was like, this is just so far from where I'm at right now.
Sure.
And it just felt really scary. And I think there was just so many things that put me off. And social media wasn't as big for it back then. So I'd go to like YouTube to try find some more information about it. And everything I saw was really negative.
Right.
So all of these things kind of built up, and I was just so against it. And then I managed to get out of that hospital stay without a stoma bag. And they were like, you're going to be back here in 6 months and you're going to be having this surgery. I was like, no, I won't. I was like, I won't be. I was. So yeah, about 6 months later, I went back in, and it was just no other option really. And it was getting to the point where like my colon was so inflamed and stuff, they were a bit worried it could erupt. So yeah, then I basically went in on like the Friday, and I think I was having my surgery on the Sunday morning. So
And then Sid came into your life.
Sid did come into my life.
This
yeah,
is the name that you've given your stoma.
Sid the stoma. Yeah.
How do you and Sid get on these days then?
Now we get on so well. I mean, obviously sometimes he pisses me off, but I don't know if I call him a he, because like men.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
he's annoying.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
But yeah, we get on really well now. He actually is amazing. He's changed my life so much. And I wouldn't be without my stoma now. But obviously that's come with time and stuff. But yeah, he's a little angel now.
So when you thinking back to before you had the surgery and being quite reluctant and not being able to find anyone who looked like you or having experiences you could relate to, do you feel it's very important to share your experiences and be vocal about that then?
I think so. I remember literally seeing one picture of someone with a stoma bag, and I can't remember who it was. I was quite young at the time, and I'd never really seen it before. And like they talked to me about the surgery from when I was like 13, 14, so I was young. So I always knew it could be a possibility. Obviously, I was going to do anything not to have it at that time. And I saw someone, I don't know if it was like in the paper or something, or like on Facebook or something, and she was sunbathing and she had a stoma bag, and it was like kind of the first time I'd ever seen like a younger girl. She looked gorgeous. She just looked great. Do you know what I mean? I remember thinking, all right, like that makes me feel a little bit better. So I guess when I had mine, I kind of just wanted to help other people. And it can be such an isolating illness. It's a lot of the time invisible with ulcerative colitis. People don't actually know you're unwell. So a lot of people I even went to school with like didn't know I was unwell, which is so mad to think when it was affecting my life so much. And I was like friends with people who didn't even know about it. So
tell me about colitis. So if someone doesn't know what it is, how would you explain it?
Right, I'm probably going to explain this in like the least
You're explaining it
clinical
perfectly,
way.
I'm sure, Mollie.
So obviously we have our digestive system. We've got like our large intestine, our small intestine. My large intestine was inflamed, so it would have ulcers in it, it would bleed, and my symptoms kind of started off. So I think I started getting symptoms when I was about 10, and I was getting like blood in my stools. Yeah. And then progressively mine just got worse, and I was going to the toilet at my worst probably like 30 times a day.
Wow.
And that's bleeding. Oh. I had no control. I was having a lot of accidents, especially towards like the end before my surgery, and that was then leading to loads of anxiety and stuff. But the symptoms are mostly like blood in your stools, no control, just obviously a really bad stomach. And where it gets dangerous is obviously how much blood you've got in your stools and stuff like that. But the difference between Crohn's and colitis is your large intestine, and then Crohn's is like your whole digestive system, so your small intestine as well. So the surgeries are a little bit different for each.
You explain that brilliantly. Thank you for that. So when you got your platform on the Traitors, I mean, did you go into it thinking, I've got a platform, or did you just think, I'm going on this show, and you happened to talk about it?
Yeah, 100%. I think what was nice about the Traitors is it was never about my hand or my stoma bag. It was just, obviously it is part of me, and like it's been a huge part of like my journey and who I am, and I wouldn't have been on the show if I didn't have my stoma, because I wouldn't have been able to. Whereas like my hand's not really something I bring up because, well, it's obviously just there, but like it's never stopped me. Whereas I think for me it's like quite important for people to sometimes know, well, for myself to look back and think I wouldn't be here without this. So it kind of just came up naturally, and like obviously we were all spending a lot of time together, so it's just a really natural thing. And I think it's nice because they didn't like focus in on it too much, and that was perfect because I had a lot of like feedback from people who were saying, you know, I didn't even need to be speaking about it. They obviously just knew I had a stoma, and then we were doing the missions and they were like, I never knew you could do that with a stoma. I didn't know you could swim. I didn't know you could do this. So it was just like a natural thing.
That's great.
Really
so have you had
nice.
direct feedback from people?
Yeah, and it's been amazing. Like, I wish I could get back to all the messages that I've had, and people are just, yeah, it's such a nice community now that I've built, and obviously I get to chat to other people as well, because I need support sometimes, you know, and I
Yeah.
need advice. So it's a really nice community, and yeah, the most of the reaction from the Traitors was obviously lovely. Everyone's always got their opinion on some stuff, but in terms of, you know, like my stoma, it was really, really lovely.
Great. It's such a high pressured show.
Yeah.
You seem to thrive in that environment. I mean, you did that, then you went on to do Dancing on Ice, which I think sounds utterly terrifying.
It was. It really was.
How does your body react to sort of that kind of stress? Do you thrive on it?
No, not at all. Like, not at all. I think I just like, I've been for the last few years, I guess, like fake it till you make it. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's one of the best things you can do. I suppose like they were so different because with the Traitors, you don't really know you're being filmed. Like, it's often hidden. So you don't really feel the pressure of that much. So you're just being yourself. So I guess that was a bit different. Obviously the ending was intense, but I've said before, it was never about the money at that point. That's not why I was like so upset. It was, I just missed my family. Like, we'd had no communication. So it was all a lot. But I definitely don't thrive in them situations, as we can tell. And then when it came to Dancing on Ice, I was just so out of my depth. But I just got to enjoy it. Yeah. Because who gets to do this?
You're right. Do you still skate?
I have been. So my boyfriend, he was on the show 3 years ago.
Right.
3 or 4 years ago. So we said we were going to go together. So we've been together once since the show. And we were rubbish. So, like, we don't have it anymore.
You've done some great things and you're only, you know, early 20s, right?
Yeah, I just turned 24.
Incredible. What bit of your body do you think you're proudest of at this point in your life?
That's so difficult. I feel like you go through stages. But like, probably my stoma, like, it sounds so silly because I didn't want it and like I was so against it. But I think, yeah, it has to be that. I mean, that's the thing that's changed my life the most, the thing that's like I've had to kind of adapt to the most, and just feel proud of it now in a way, because it's just completely changed my life and it's got me to a place that I never would have been able to before.
Isn't that magic to think of? Like, if you're, like you said, if you could speak to your younger self.
Yeah.
She'd be like, what?
Oh, yeah. She'd be like, girl, shut up. Like, she'd be like, still wouldn't believe me, even if it was coming from myself.
Yeah.
I was a bit stubborn about it, I'll be honest. But I think that's why it's important now to show that it isn't this nasty, horrible thing. And social media is becoming so good for that. I mean, we both, well, I think everyone knows there's good parts to social media and there's bad parts to social media. But this is like definitely a really good part. And like I said, a really good community. And it's like really nice to have them people and that support and people actually talking about it and actually posting real stuff. Because I think even I was guilty of it at the beginning. Like, I was posting about my stoma and stuff, wasn't really educating people because I still felt a little bit, I guess, embarrassed a little bit, which I hate to say because obviously I shouldn't be and no one should be. But it's taken me time to like get there and open up and actually tell people I shit in a bag instead of just being like, this is a bag on my stomach. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So it's taken me that time.
And you sort of reclaim it, or you're empowered with the language that you use.
I think so. And I think at the beginning I would have been like, I maybe would have posted a photo of it and been like, I feel proud of that because I've posted a photo of my stoma. Whereas now I'd probably want to educate people more and like kind of explain what it is and how it's helped.
Yeah. Well, you've got a varied life at the moment. So you sort of have your advocacy stuff, but you're also a model as well.
Well, I haven't modelled in years.
Oh, have you not?
No, I've not.
Just to get back out there.
I don't know. I mean, I basically got into it because, because of my limb difference. It was nothing to do with my stoma because I didn't have it then. So I think I was like 15, 16. And I've never like really thought about my hand, which is, well, sometimes I look down, I think that is insane that like I just don't have a hand, like, because I don't think about it that much. And then I actually deep it sometimes. I think, all right, fair enough. But I was walking around the shops with my mum and we saw like a model in the shop and she was just had the clothes on and she had one arm, and it never like occurred to me before that was even a thing. Like, I'd never really seen it. And I mean, things have obviously changed so much in the last like few years, but yeah, it was kind of one of the first times I kind of saw someone really showing it off. And I just said to my mum, like, I want to like make people feel how she has made me feel. And then just did my best to get into it. And I did some like amazing jobs and it was really fun. But again, like my ulcerative colitis, you wouldn't have known, but that was taken over all of that really. Like I got the opportunity to go to New York for a shoot, which was incredible. Still blows my mind now. And like I took my mum and it was for Tommy Hilfiger. And it was like my first ever shoot. It was like my second. Yeah, it was insane. Like me and my mum didn't believe it. We were bouncing up and down on my bed in my bedroom.
My gosh.
We had the best time. But I was having a flare up and I was on steroids, and there was times where I couldn't even make it to the shoot because New York traffic's so bad, and I'd be in the taxi and I'd be like, I'm literally gonna poo myself.
Yeah.
And I'd have to we'd have to get the taxi driver to stop, and then you go to the shoot, and obviously people think you're doing so well, and I was so proud of it. You know, it was such a great moment, but it was just ruined by that. And people don't see that. No. And I think that's why it's so important to talk about these invisible illnesses and the effect it can have. And even when the photos come out, I was on steroids. So I had they call it a moon face, which is one of the side effects. So I was looking at them photos thinking, I hate these.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone else was like, oh my God, that's amazing that you've done that. But yeah, for me, it was just a bit... It wasn't ruined, obviously, but it was a bit tainted.
Do you look back a bit more kindly on it now?
Of course.
With some distance?
Yeah, and I look back on myself a bit more kindly, I think. I think at the time, I'm still my biggest critic. I think we all are.
We all are, yeah.
But I look back at her now and she's like, I was 15, 16 doing that.
Gosh,
and that was the first time I ever showed off my hand as well. So I think... bad bitch, you know what I mean?
That's amazing. Yeah, I think how I don't know, life is so intimidating when you're a teenager at the best of times, and you had all that going on. There you were in New York with Tommy Hilfiger.
I know, and my mom, bless her. Oh, we had the best time, honestly.
That is incredible. Yeah.
And she's my mom deserves it as well, because it was so exciting for both of us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We never would have got to do that otherwise. So it was really, really good.
Would you like to get back into modelling then?
Potentially, I think. I don't know if modelling ever gave me the best. Relationship with myself, being completely honest.
With your body?
Yeah, just and how I thought about myself. And I find it quite hard to give someone complete control over how I look. And that's what you have to do, because you are working for someone else. You are giving them permission to make you look like something, because that's what they hired you for.
Yeah.
But I think for me, the reason I was doing the modelling was always, again, for awareness. I wanted people with a limb difference to see that and hopefully feel empowered. So now I've got my platform. I actually like talking a little bit more. I like using it, and I think obviously a photo is amazing. If that goes out there, it can do so much. But I think it's nice as well with Instagram and social media. You can chat and post videos and have a little bit more
interaction.
To say. Yeah, I think so.
It's a conversation.
I think so.
What's the best bit of advice you've ever been given about your body?
I think it's from my mum, to be honest.
Good old mums.
Oh yeah, good old Sal. She used to tell me, especially when it came to my hand, obviously there was always that fear of boys or friends growing up, or people being nasty. And I was very lucky. I had a really good group of friends, and I was just really, really lucky. But my mum always used to say to me, about boys, I literally have a head start, because I can see a red flag before they've even shown it. If someone doesn't like me because of my limb difference and now my stoma, or anything about yourself, then they're not worth your time anyway. So you kind of get a head start in getting the bad ones out. And I think that was always nice that she kind of said it's on them, it's not on you.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Good. What's your mum's called?
Sally.
Yeah,
good old Sally.
So talking about your body nowadays, do you look after your body? Is there something that you do? Do you work out? Do you take supplements?
Yeah, so try to be in the gym a lot now. I mean, I've had a bit of a break from it since the marathons, I'll be honest. I've not fully got back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And supplements, I'm loving collagen. Collagen, I feel I know I'm not that old yet, but I just feel it's made such a difference to my nails.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel, in my head, I'm imagining it's something that, people my age are taking it, because I'm early 40s, so you're early 20s.
Well, my mum started taking it and she was like, you have to do it.
So you're nicking some of hers?
Wow, no, I've got my own now. I love it. Literally love it. No, I think it's really great.
And are you quite picky about what you eat? Are you a vegan or a veggie or anything? Or?
I'm not. I try to be good when I'm at home. I just love food. I am such a foodie, and I think balance is so important.
Absolutely.
And I like to enjoy myself. I think we are here to enjoy ourselves, and I spent a lot of time not enjoying myself because I couldn't. So now I definitely try to make the most of being able to eat and drink whatever I want.
Does colitis affect what you can eat and drink?
It did for me. I when I was having a flare up, like I just lost my appetite.
Right.
I just couldn't keep anything in, like everything was just going straight through me.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like drinking was really, really like a massive trigger for me. So I probably made up for it on the wine since my surgery, to be honest. But yeah, I think balance is just really important. We all talk about it, and sometimes in life, like I probably eat and drink too much, and then sometimes I'll be a little bit more strict. But I think that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you take care of your mental health actively? Do you do therapy or mindfulness or meditation or anything?
I have done therapy, but honestly, not really. I tried meditation on that retreat I went to, which I really enjoyed. I've always kind of struggled with just like sitting with my thoughts.
Yeah.
And I'm still probably not very good at it, and I could be better. But I think for me, like exercise is a massive help. Like I think working out and just being physical and even just like getting outside. I've realised how much I love walking when we were training for the marathons. Obviously gone off it a little bit now, but before when we were training, I loved like getting out and just walking with like your head and stuff. It was really, really good.
We were just chatting before we started recording, and so you've moved from a little village and you've moved to like a central bit of London.
Yeah.
Are you finding that tricky without the green spaces to look at?
Yeah, definitely. But I think I'm starting to find places in London that like have that feel.
Yeah.
And there's places like just outside of London I really want to explore as well. And obviously you've got the beauty of London that's so different. That's, more built up and stuff, but it's still beautiful. So I've had some really nice walks around London. I think I've like walked most of London at this point when I was training for the marathons. But there's beauty in both, isn't there?
There is.
But I think there's something nice about getting outside. Like, as much as the gym is good, I don't think anything quite beats like just being outside, and especially when it's sunny and stuff. It's so nice.
The best. London really comes alive when it's sunny. It's
I
like
know.
it's like a whole new beast.
I'm starting to feel that. I'm starting to feel it. Yeah.
Love that. So being in the public eye, and we're talking about social media. Obviously, people can have opinions. People do have opinions.
They
They like to lob them at you, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
How have you found balancing that, or have you balanced that? Do you just ignore people? Have people been mean? How have you found that?
I think at the beginning, obviously, when I came off the Traitors, it was such a big topic. Everyone was talking about it. It was such a good thing that people loved the show and they were so interested in it, and they were so involved with it. But obviously there's a line of like enjoying the show and having an opinion, and then there's a line between like coming on someone's account and leaving hate. And like I did receive quite a lot of hate after the final. We still all need to learn that like what you say has an effect. And I think it's really easy, like when we see people on television and stuff, to think they're not real people. But yeah, obviously we are. And yeah, it was a little bit hard. And I feel like I said, I'd never really had too much problem growing up with my hand and stuff. I'd had the few like nasty comments and stuff like that. But then I was like getting proper like messages and like people being really nasty about my hand and my stoma. I had a few like that. I'd never really experienced it before. So I think I was a little bit taken back.
Right.
But it was just like spending time with my friends and family, obviously makes you realise that it's not really real life.
Yes.
Like I said, there's a good and bad side to social media, I think. So it's just, for me, I'm trying to use it for good.
Yes. That's
the main thing.
And I imagine Sally was in your corner telling you what was what.
So she's there like, I can't believe they're saying that. And I'm like, yeah, Mum, I know. But yeah, when I would read us some out, we did have a laugh about it. You've got to laugh it off, I think. You really have to remind yourself that they don't know you, and it's kind of just funny, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Do you know what I mean?
Shake it off. Exactly that.
Hello, and welcome to the Back Your Body Science Break. I'm Patille, H&B Science Specialist, and this week we're talking collagen and skin. Now, this is one of the biggest topics in the beauty space right now, and for good reason. So, let's get into it. It's a little known fact that there are not one, but 3 main types of collagen, type 1, 2, and 3. And it's types 1 and 3 that play a key role in skin elasticity and structure. Type 1 is the major player. It makes up around 80 to 90% of the collagen in your skin and contributes to its structure and firmness. Type 3 works alongside it, helping support the skin's flexibility and overall structure. And type 2 is more relevant for your joints and cartilage, so it's less of a focus here. Now, from your mid-20s, collagen production naturally begins to decline. Gradually at first, then more noticeably as time goes on. Think fine lines, loss of firmness, and reduced elasticity. Now, it's a completely natural process, but it's also the main reason collagen has become such a buzzword. So, what do we know about collagen supplements? In terms of research, across a number of randomized controlled trials, daily intake between 2.5 and 10 grams has been associated with potential improvements in skin elasticity, hydration, and wrinkle appearance. When it comes to what to look for, most supplements use hydrolyzed collagen, also known as collagen peptides. This simply means that collagen has been broken down into smaller pieces, making it easier for the body to absorb. Rather than directly replacing collagen in the skin, these peptides are thought to act as signals that might influence the body's own collagen processes. Another thing to note is that you'll often see collagen for skin paired with vitamin C, and there's a very good reason for this. Because vitamin C is involved in the body's natural collagen formation, it plays a supporting role here. So either combine the two or look for a supplement that includes both. In terms of how to take it, powders are the most common, and they're easy to add into coffee, smoothies, or water. But you can also find it in capsules and gels. Of course, no supplement works in isolation. Daily SPF, a balanced diet, and good sleep all play a role in how your skin looks and feels. But if you're looking to support your skin from within, and you're consistent with it, collagen combined with vitamin C is one of the more widely researched options in the beauty space right now. Until next time, science fans!
Thank you, science person. Love that. No jargon, just the good facts. Now, Molly, it's time for the all-important stack questions. These are quick fire, rapid.
Oh,
I mean, I say rapid, they've never been rapid, ever.
I've already told you I'm not very good in these situations.
Just going to watch you
well,
get flustered. Excellent. Okay, your time starts now. Molly, what time does your alarm go off?
8:30.
Nice, acceptable. Cozy night in or dancing all night?
Dancing.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, both, but let's say dancing.
Love
I'm
that.
24, you know?
Exactly, that's the right answer. What exercise do you secretly hate but keep doing?
Running.
Oh, good woman. Doom scrolling or a book?
I love to read, but doom scrolling.
If we're honest,
I can't help
it. Traitor or faithful?
Faithful, always.
What's the last thing you do before you go to sleep?
Say goodnight to Connor.
Yeah. What's the secret to a happy outlook?
People around you. Good, like surrounding yourself with good people.
You talk about your friends and family a lot. I feel like they're just absolutely instrumental.
Oh yeah, I love that's why London for me, like I miss my family so much here. But yeah, no, obviously I see them a lot, but just
makes you appreciate them when you're away.
Yeah, love them.
Vitamins, morning or night?
Morning.
Phone in the bedroom, yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, naughty girl.
I know.
Therapy, yes, no, on the waiting list.
I'm not in therapy, but maybe should be.
We all should be.
I have had therapy before, but I would be open to it. Do you know what I mean?
But right now,
not.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is it. Time's up, Molly. Thanks so much.
Sorry, they weren't very quick answers. No. I'm like, should we sit and chat?
No, they're never quick. Molly, thank you so much for chatting to me today. It's been lovely to get to know you. Now, if today's episode made you think a little bit more about your own body and how you treat it, listen to it and how you back it, then that is what I like to hear. We've got another brilliant guest coming up next week, so hit subscribe and join us every Thursday wherever you get your podcasts.